All right, had a little bit of technical difficulty getting started here. We'll let the room load up, and then we will get started. All right, so my name is Rory Sands. I'm the Director of Solar Education here at Sunset Solar. Today we're going to be discussing the big question that pops up, is solar free in Illinois? So we are specifically talking about the incentive programs in Illinois, um, the different programs available, and then the different ways to get solar on your home. So there's a number of different ways to do that. One of them is potentially free if you qualify, and so we're going to dive into that as well as the other ways to get solar. So that's the agenda for today. We're going to cover the Illinois Solar for All program. We're going to then cover the different other ways if you do not qualify for the Solar for All program. What are your other options for getting solar as well? And there's a number of different ways to go about it. And after getting through this, you'll understand why you see so much solar being installed in your neighborhoods more than likely. So I will say if you're not in Illinois, you can still gain some information from this, but it is very, very specific to the Illinois market as far as the way these different things work. We will be doing additional webinars down the road on financing and solar programs in Missouri. And that one will be coming in the future shortly. So is solar free? The Illinois Solar for All program. So no, like the official answer is solar is not free. It has to be paid for somehow. But what is available in Illinois, one of the programs is this Solar for All program. Okay, and so the goal of the Illinois Solar for All program is to provide residents, homeowners that fall into certain criteria to receive a very significant reduction in their electricity costs. And in some cases, these installs can be completely free of cost to the homeowners. There's a number of different things that go into it. Once you qualify, then it becomes how much sun exposure you're going to get on your home, on the rooftop that you have available to install solar, and then what is your current electrical usage. And we can put those calculations together, and on some cases we have been able to get the entire cost of the solar system covered for homeowners. When we look at how do you qualify for the Solar for All program, so there's a link right here. This is where it all starts with your eligibility verification, filling out about where you live and your income. And basically what it is, it's available to any household that's income is at or below 80% of that area's median income. So it's by the county. And then that adjusts based on the number of people in your household. So a single person, the only one living in a home, is going to have a lower income amount than if, say, you are a family of six. You can make quite a bit more as a family of six and still qualify based on this verification. So we will share out this link in the chat so that you can click on that and go through and fill out that to see if you first qualify for the program. From there, you can reach out to us, and we help take care of everything from that process moving forward. You will see mentioned here, so the Illinois Solar for All program does also have companies that do what's called community solar. So this is one of those alternative ways. Say you don't have the roof space, you have a lot of tree coverage, so you can't, like, your home's not a good fit for solar, but you meet the other criteria. You can, in some cases, then subscribe and get a lot of your power at a much, much cheaper rate by doing one of these community solar subscriptions. Okay, this is not something that our company offers currently, but there are companies on the Illinois Solar for All website that specialize in that offering as well. So, okay, so let's say you don't qualify for the Solar for All program, or you partially qualify, right? Like you meet the income verifications, you qualify for the program, but because of some of the aspects, maybe your usage is very high on your electric bill, or you need a larger system than what would be covered 100% from the program, or perhaps you are interested in a battery, or you have some shading, so you're not going to get quite all of your system paid for. There's different options for how then you take care of the rest of that, or if you don't qualify for the program at all, this is how people are getting solar now as well. Okay, so cash purchase being one of the straightforward obvious. If you have the money up front, we've seen a number of people cash out retirement funds and stuff to pay for this because it's a better investment than the return you're getting on their 401k currently, right? So there's a lot of different ways of doing a cash purchase other than just having that money sitting right there in the bank. But with this type of model, you're paying for the system up front. Us as a company, we don't take all that money before we've done the work. It's on a 10% down payment, 70% install, and then the final 20% after your system's been what they call PTO, permission to operate, which is when the utility company comes out and actually turns it on. So the advantages of doing a cash purchase, you collect all the incentives. So the tax credits, you're going to collect the rebates. If you're in an Ameren, Illinois area, there's some additional rebates that you would qualify for. You collect those as well as the Illinois Shine, not the same as the Illinois Solar for All. The Illinois Shines program is available to everybody, and it's a pretty significant percentage of your cost of your system that you actually receive back directly as a check. So long-term savings, the return on investment is the highest purchasing solar this way compared to the other ones that we'll go over. And then, as we talked about in a previous webinar, the increase of home value when you put solar on, you are going to get a significant increase in your overall resale value of your home. So option number 2 is financing, right? This is a standard loan like you take out on your mortgage or a car or anything else. The things with solar now, solar has some uniqueness about it. They have solar specific loan programs that are based off of the fact that these systems are warranted for 25 plus years. So with that being the case, they treat this far more similarly to a mortgage than they do, say, a car loan. So you can get financing for 20 plus years on a solar system. And then they've got some special terms. So like the credit union that we work with the most currently does a 6 months no payment from the time the system is installed. You have 6 full months before you have to make your first payment on the loan. And then they also do something that's called a reamortization. And what a reamortization is it's basically recalculating the loan and lowering that monthly payment based on making some chunk payments on it. So financing it, it's the same as cash buying it, as far as you're the one that's going to get the tax credit. You're the one that's going to get the Illinois Shines incentive check. So if you choose to take those big chunks of money and send them to the bank to pay on your loan, you can have them recalculate your loan and bring it down to a lower monthly payment. So this is kind of an opportunity to reduce your monthly payment in comparison to what you're paying for currently to the utility company, and at the same time paying this off to where you eventually are getting free. You have no cost involved into your electricity production. And now there's also something called third-party ownership. A TPO is what you will see this described as. And what that is, it's a third-party ownership, meaning basically an investment company is who owns the system. Okay, so it still gets installed at your home. You get all the benefits of the solar. You're getting, it's replacing some or all of your electricity production and cost with your utility company. And then you're just doing what's either called a lease or a PPA. In Illinois, there are PPAs, power purchase agreement. Either way, what that means, so a power purchase agreement is essentially what you are in right now with your power company, right? You are in an agreement with them to purchase power from them for your home. The kind of unfortunate, the sticking point of your current scenario is that you don't have any say or any real knowledge about when they're going to increase those prices on you time and time again. And as we've seen in Illinois over the last few years, they've increased pretty significantly. So in some areas, as much as 300%. So some really big jumps in the cost of electricity. So with this third-party ownership model, you get a set payment monthly that then you typically has what's called an escalator rate tied to it. Just think about basic inflation, right? So you'll see something like a 0.99, a 199, or a 299 percentage of year after year increase. So a very mild increase, and you're starting at a payment point that is typically somewhere between, basically for most homeowners, you're seeing 30 to 50% reduction in your overall utility costs every month immediately. So that's the real power of this program. So you may ask, well, why would a company do this? Okay, so from the investor's standpoint, again, these systems are going to last for a long time, right? And there's tax incentives involved in them. And as a business, as a business owning it, they get to take additional tax incentives with their systems. So they are getting a lot of their cost recouped via the tax benefits, the incentives, the Illinois Shines, right? They get to collect all of that. So then they can offer you a much lower rate and still are able to be profitable and provide a full 25-year warranty and maintenance program, all under that included for you with nothing to worry about, right? So they're the ones that own it. They're the ones responsible for maintaining it. They're the ones that are responsible for any warranty work. They are the ones that are responsible for insuring it. So that's the other thing in comparison to a regular ownership of cash or finance. It's going to go into your homeowner's insurance. We don't typically see a big increase there, but obviously your insurance company is now saying your home's worth more money. It's going to need to bump that coverage a little bit. So with the third-party ownership model, you don't have to worry about that. So one of the things that you do need to be aware of is that these are not available with every utility company. In Illinois, in the areas we cover of Illinois, it's Ameren. If you live up north, the ComEd area, it would be the other utility company that this is available in. Not currently available in any of the co-ops or municipality electric companies. So a little bit more on this, why it works so well is because of that immediate savings that I mentioned, right? And so for people who don't have the capability of taking advantage of the tax credit, this model tends to be the best option for them. Okay, and so you can watch some of our other our other webinars to get kind of a breakdown of those of the tax credit, where to know basics of it. Look at line 24 on your tax return. If that number is really big, then that means you paid a lot of taxes and they kept a lot of your money, and a tax credit is going to do you a lot of good. If that number is really small, then that tax credit, you may never be able to take advantage of that from a cash purchase option. So a third party ownership option is definitely going to be your better option to go. So when you talk to one of our solar educators here, we will go through all of that with you, show you the different options, help you, kind of look at the plus and minuses of each side and decide what's the best option for you. So we've kind of touched on this already. Just what is a power purchase agreement? You said it's what you're doing with your utility company now. You're just doing it with the solar company instead of getting all your power from your electric company. With those power purchase agreements, much like the financing option, there's no money out of your pocket. Yeah, I'd come out with nothing up front, and you're just immediately, right after your solar's turned on, you're going to immediately start seeing a savings. And so it's a great way to quickly reduce your monthly payments. And for many people, as I said, in Illinois, we know that we've seen as much as a 300% increase over the last few years. All of a sudden, bills that were $150 are $400, and I've actually seen this last summer. I saw some bills cross over $1,000 a month. Unfortunately, we know that with the state of the transition in how we produce our electricity and the grid upgrades that are needed, all the things that are going on in this sector is only going to continue to lead to higher and higher prices to the end consumer. So being able to make a transition and immediately start saving money and know what that's going to be year after year is just a very strong economic decision for most people. So that's really the rundown of those options. Or we'll just say that with the PPA, you'll see it referred to as leasing. Those are essentially the same thing. It's just a little bit different from state to state and which one it is, but they basically work out the same. If you have additional questions about that or anything else, here's all our contact information. You can also find us on YouTube, where you'll hear me ramble on about all sorts of other solar things if you want to dig in deeper from that side. And I did not mention when we began, but if there's questions, you can definitely shoot those over here in our Q&A session. So I'll give a couple minutes for that. Why then? We are wrapping up here. No questions. All right. Perfect. All righty. Well, we will wrap this. Thank you for joining us and have a blessed day.